Let's start with the question. What is the story behind Monument Valley 2? When compared to Ida's adventure in the first game, Monument Valley 2 has a much more directed story. It chronicles the journeys of Ro and her nameless daughter through MC Escher-like worlds. However, just like the first game, the bits of story we are told directly are given through sparse bits of dialogue from presumably wise elders. Some bits of story are told through gameplay, such as Ro's daughter drawing various symbols similar to the ones Ida was returning in the first game, giving us a better picture of the world created between the two games. What the storyline in Monument Valley 2? Are there any connections to the first game? So how can we solve this? There are 5 possible answers. Answer 1. The story was a little harder to get in this one, however, I do have a few ideas. Ro and her daughter's interactions with the spirit oracles is obviously very different than Ida's. They treated Ida with an almost cold scorn, angry at what she had done. However, they treat Ro with an almost familial sympathy and give her advice on how to process her daughter's journey. It seems that while Ida's journey was more one of atonement, Ro and her daughter's story are more about growth and change, developing into better versions of themselves. As far as the character's relationship with the spirit oracle, while Ida was a crow person, it seems that Ro and her daughter are directly descended for the spirit people, and their journey is one of returning them to their rightful place. Some people have suggested that Monument Valley 2 is a sequel to 1, but I disagree. I think it's a sequel in the proper sense, and takes place some time after 1. The sacred geometry is returned. The Crow people have atoned. And now Ro brings the spirits of her ancestors back into their rightful place. The restoration of the Monument Valley is complete. Answer 2. I do believe that MV2 is a prequel to MV1. In MV1, Ida is on a quest for forgiveness. She has stolen the sacred geometry, which killed all people. Once she returned it, there was still no one left to forgive her and the crows. I think MV2 takes place before MV1, when humans still lived. Ro and her daughter may be some of the people who created the monuments Ida destroyed. However, I think that MV2 doesn't have much to do with MV1, it's just another game to have fun with. Answer 3. I believe MV2 is a sequel to MV2. After all, it seems as though Ida was Ro's old friend. As she says in a quote, "Remember all the fun we used to have." Ro sounds sad, and Ida is at spirit. This is why MV2 comes after MV1. Answer 4. I personally think that it is a prequel. I'm not all the way finished with MV2. But from what I have gathered so far, I think that a possibility is that the child is the oracle from MV1, as they have the same clothing and hat. I also have the idea that Ida either wound up killing either Ro or the child, oracle. And that was who she gave the flower to in level 9 of MV1. Answer 5. I have a theory of the story too. Maybe Ro brought her daughter to Monument Valley to grow up there. At first she does the puzzles with her, but then, after a while, she lets the child try it herself. Then Ro decides that the child is ready to go on her own as shown in level 6. She sends her on a boat ride and the child does some of her own puzzles. In the end, the child is now a grown-up and she eventually reunites with Ro. That's my theory of the story. I hope these answers helped, and if they did, please drop a comment and subscribe.